Welcome to the Barker Podcast Collection.
Welcome to the Not Watching Podcast. My name's Rob Howard, and this week I'm joined by
Ian Bruce.
Okay, so I've been watching some good telly, some really good telly, obviously on Netflix. The Haunting of Hill House is a 10-part drama based on the book of the same name. However, what they have done here, when I say they, I say Mike Flanagan, who recently gave us Gerald's Game, which was based on a Stephen King book.
That was good.
And which also cast Carla Gugino and Henry Thomas, who was the little boy in E.T., all now all grown up. So they're in there, and basically this is like they've taken a what is kind of been a movie before, I think, when it's been told before. But what they've done here is they've kind of they're dealing with the whole family. There's 5 kids. The first 5 episodes each focus on one of the kids. It goes backwards and forwards in time. From when they were kids and living in the house to now they're all grown up and stuff.
Okay.
And I just watched the 5th episode, Curse Me, on the train home, and it was one of the best episodes I have ever seen of this kind of thing. One of the best television episodes of the year, for sure.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it has a 9.5 on IMDb. That particular episode. Okay. And I was just saying that, and I literally just watched the 6th episode before we started this call, and wow, it's difficult to follow that up, but they did so very admirably, with some excellent like one shot sort of almost like theatre, using the whole cast like from both time periods with like. They must be running around behind the camera and stuff, you know, to get in position. Absolutely lovely, like the way they did it. It's so good. It relies on a lot of old tropes, you know. It's got your jump scares in there. What are they looking at? The eyes looking around, the camera spinning, you know, all those kind of tropes. They're in there, but it's tastefully done. Right. And there's definitely a Stephen King element. Obviously, with the generation gap, reminds you of It a little bit. And what else have I got to say about this? It's surprisingly moving, actually, because it involves the family and each of the, they've all kind of gone their separate ways. Some of them have some very like cool. I won't say because it's very, very good.
Well, that's good.
I made the mistake of watching this on my own on Sunday. You need a hug.
You're right. Have you gone out since?
Yeah, I had to leave the house. It was getting a bit creepy.
What's that reflection in your tin behind you?
No. But yeah, no, it's really, really affecting, and I really enjoyed it. And also, you know, I probably mentioned on here before, you know, when I'm watching a comedy on the train, how I've had to, or at my desk at lunchtime, and I've had to be a bit like, you know, hold the laugh in. This has been like kind of hold the jump scream in. So I've been getting some very funny looks from my mate who sits next to me. He's like, what the hell are you watching? And I'm like, the Haunting of Hill House. He's like, oh man, I'll check that out then. So yeah, if you're a fan of scary stuff, it's absolutely fantastic.
No, that sounds nice. I'll give that a go.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Like
if the character and the family are affecting you, then it's really very much like a Stephen King thing. Because in my mind, his books are 90% character and 10% weird supernatural shit. Yeah. Well, Mike Flanagan.
I mean, Mike Flanagan. We're talking about a guy that adapted one of the most unfilmable books that Stephen King ever wrote. So he's obviously steeped in King, and he's brought a lot of that to bear on this. There's also some really like bang on writing, like lines I can remember. There's a bit where the mum is describing to the daughter about like what eulogy is.
Yeah.
And she says like it's a story, and like that's what we all become after we die is stories.
Jesus.
And yeah, that really like there's some great fucking memorable dialogue in there. So it's really well written. All of the episodes, well, all of the ones I've seen have been directed by Mike Flanagan. So there's like there's an excellent consistency to it as well. So yeah, I really rate it. It's well up there. I think I said on Facebook earlier, this is doing for horror what Altered Carbon did for sci-fi earlier in the year. I mean, I only mean that in the sense that it's like, you like this thing, have this thing for 10 hours, you know?
Yeah.
It's really serving it up. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay.
Another thing on Netflix that I quite enjoyed, not probably in the same league as The Haunting of Hill House, would be Maniac, which is a limited series, they say, because there's not going to be another series of it. It's based on a Norwegian a Scandinavian show of the same name. And all the episodes, similar to Haunting in the Hill House, are directed by Kari Fukunaga, who you may remember from True Detective. And what else did he do? He's done some really good stuff also on Netflix. He did Beasts of No Nation, that's right. And I think he was rumoured to be doing It at one point, but they fell out. And apparently now he's going to be working on the new Bond, they're saying. But I don't know how long that's likely to go on for, because he's famous for wanting to do his own thing, and the producers of the Bond series are not ones for that. But anyway, yeah, Maniac. It stars Jonah Hill and Emma Stone, who both have a fair number of demons, you might say, and they both agreed to take part in this drug trial being run by this crazy doctor played by Justin Theroux. And basically, when they go on these drug trials, it's almost like they step into virtual reality and end up in these different kind of scenarios. Outside of the trials, the whole world is kind of very designed, you know. It's like kind of set present day, but there's like a kind of retro aesthetic running through it. You know, like people are using big phones and looking at big screens and chunky computers. It's all a bit garish and neon. But inside of these drug trials, or trips, if you like, there could be anywhere. They could. One of them is set in a fantasy world. Emma Stone's playing an elf with big ears, and looks like she doesn't want to be there for a second, because they sort of slip in and out of these sort of alter egos as well, which is quite amusing. Jonah Hill's like playing some kind of, I don't know, private eye 1 minute, and then he's playing a gangster, and so they're quite often playing against type, and yeah, it's really fun. There's some, it's really well directed. There's some very nice like one shots in there and stuff. Kari Fukunaga likes to do that, and yeah, it's very good. But the episodes are of varying length. So it doesn't take long to get through. But I'd recommend it. And if you fancy watching something a little bit different, check out Maniac on Netflix. I've also been watching season 3 of Man in the High Castle. It's been a 2-year break for this one. So it was a little weird getting back on track. In fact, they actually released a half an hour long part 1 and 2 catch up. There's quite a lot of to catch up on. My frustration with this series is really just the pace of it. Considering it's been 2 years since the last episode, they really do take their time with the storytelling. There's 1 or 2 characters that really could have, been dropped by now. Their arcs in this season seem so pointless and just excessive, really. But there are some good episodes in this. The story, I'm still compelled by the whole setup. The Nazis won the war. We're in the 60s now, alternate world. And I'd I'd still recommend giving it a go, but you just got to bear in mind, like, you just have to kind of accept the pace of it and go along for the ride.
So, did you watch Bodyguard when it was on?
I did, yeah. I was gonna get to that one next.
Excellent.
Yeah, no, I watched Bodyguard. I don't watch a lot of British stuff, but there was so much noise about this one that it piqued my interest, and it was only 6 episodes, so I thought, yeah, I'll give that a look. I hear it's by the people that make Line of Duty, which I've also heard good things about.
Jed Mercurio.
Yeah, that's right. And same actress, isn't it? Keely Hawes, I think she's
in one of them, yeah. Or one of the
okay.
One of the seasons. Yeah. They have like a regular... There's a core crew for Line of Duty, and then they'll have a special guest for the season. Normally, Tandy Newton did the last one, or the one before.
Oh, okay.
It's well worth it for that, Jesus.
Well, yeah, for Tandy Newton alone. But, yeah, so, yeah, Bodyguard stars Richard Madden as a... what's he called? He's like a protection officer.
He's somebody not to go to a wedding with, definitely.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Sorry,
previously of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a spoiler, is it? Previously of Game of Thrones. God. What are you doing listening to this if you're not up to date with that? Anyway? And he gets assigned to look after the Home Secretary, I believe, who's played by...
Keely Hawes.
Keely Hawes, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of starts off on a train with this kind of quite tense. It's like trying to get a terrorist to stop blowing up a train, effectively.
Yeah, and that was really good, considering there was only 2 of them in that scene. Really, yeah, it was tense. I was kind of in for the duration after that. Sorry, I interrupted. Please carry on.
No, that's fine. I really enjoyed that. It's got a very modern way of like the way it's made and shot. There's a shootout in the second episode that I thought was very Nolan-esque in the loudness of the gunfire and all that. Very visceral, and the
personalness of it as well. Now, obviously, they've done some of that for budgetary reasons, but given the limitations they may have had, it still felt like. It felt terrifying and real. Yeah. It was good.
Yeah, and it kind of went in some interesting ways. Obviously, I don't want to spoil this. It's only a 6-episode run, but the way it kind of concluded, some people felt a little bit cheated by the sort of rug pull at the end. I kind of enjoyed that, and I liked the way that it was kind of like there was 2 stories going on the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't mind that kind of thing. It was a little bit moustache twirling and stuff, but fuck it. They had 6 episodes. This is it. This is how we do it.
The Line of Duties are only 10, and I really would say that the Line of Duties are better than that.
Really?
I think there's been 3 or 4 seasons of that, and all of them have been better than that.
Yeah. Do you think this was like, let me do something else, please? I just need a change.
I think it was. Yeah, and I'm not dismissing it. It's great. It's really good. But the line of... Maybe just because I like that kind of arc-based police thing. I don't know. But, the performances were all good. The story was okay. There was some weird thing. For the first couple of episodes, I thought, holy shit, this is going to be a right fucking awesome thing. And then something happened, and I thought... Yeah, but that would never, ever happen. Oh dear, I'm watching a TV show.
Right? Are you talking about the unfortunate event?
No, I'm talking about That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, that.
Yeah, I'm doing hand signals, listener, so as to indicate what I mean. But that would never happen. That would never be allowed to happen. At that point, I thought, oh God.
Yeah, it goes a little bit soapy, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's the kind of instant that if you had it on a chalkboard, you'd really want to rub it off.
Yeah. But no, that was I feel like that was a concession to
that felt like a Sunday night.
The viewership, really.
Yes. And that's okay, but Line of Duty, I didn't feel really did that. It was all kind of... It wasn't The Wire or The Shield, but it was not The Bill, definitely.
Yeah,
it was.
They could have still.
Full on.
It felt unnecessary. Like I felt like there was enough of a bond there for it to rattle you when the unfortunate event occurs.
Yeah.
Tiptoeing
That's
around.
That's a thinly veiled spoiler, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but
she loses her shoes. Yeah.
I never said that.
Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, but no, it's pretty good. Chances are you probably checked it out by now anyway. But yeah, if you are like averse to British shows, or you simply just aren't near a way of watching them regularly, then it's worth a look out. Bodyguard, that's the BBC.
I do have one incredibly massive complaint about it though, and this is just from a comedy value.
Yeah.
One of the people in Parliament, well, I nearly spoiled that. Was a slightly older, balding gentleman with slightly white hair, and he was in the thick of it as the. Is Vincent Franklin? His name is.
I think I know who you mean. Yeah.
As the come on everyone, let's do an exploration of our inner Imagineerings. This kind of new age marketing.
Oh yeah.
And I just could not see him as anything apart from that in this. And that's
I just thought that was him.
There is no comedy here. He has no comedy in his role. He's playing a very serious role. But all I thought he was just going to... I can't remember any of those lines, but they were hilarious. Just kind of... We can make the dream better if we work as a team better, and that kind of shit.
Yeah.
He was good in it. It's nice to see people that you associate with that. I guess like Krasinski with The Quiet Place, doing something completely that you wouldn't expect them to do.
Yeah.
But, they're all actors, aren't they? So they can do anything. Yeah,
there's quite a lot of familiar faces, like Gina McKee. She's been in loads of things. Yeah. You'll recognise a lot of people in this for sure. Most of them playing against type, thankfully.
Which is good.
So,
it's very good.
Cool. All right, then. The Good Place is back. Have you caught any of this yet?
I haven't seen beyond the first season, annoyingly. Even if it has got Kristen Bell.
Oh,
that's the one. Kirsten Stewart.
that's the one you're thinking of, yeah. Yeah, it's good. I had a big catch up on this, and it started to grate on me slightly before the end, but I'm all caught up now, so I'm just watching it as it's on.
Nice.
Which is on a Friday morning on Netflix.
But that's normal viewing patterns, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I still find what's his name? The character of
Ted Danson.
Jason. I find him to be immensely irritating, but the rest of them are all great. And yeah, for some convoluted reason, it's not really a spoiler. It doesn't make any difference. They're currently in Australia, and so Ted Danson is doing his worst accent ever. It's like, is that British, Australian? They even make reference to the fact that it's fucking terrible in the show. Good. So, but I still think the MVP of this is Tahani Al-Jamil.
Yes.
Who's played by Jamelia Jamil.
Yep.
And is just fucking excellent. Like, she's just so British. It's just unbelievable. And they keep mining that for more humour. And, just that ensemble, those 6 people are just excellent.
There's some excellent outtakes from all 3 seasons available on the YouTubes.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll seek that out. Another funny thing that I thought I'd give a punt, just because it kept coming up on Netflix for me, was Norseman. Now, I've recommended this to John and JC so far, friend of the show, JC, James. Hello, James. And mostly on account of the fact that they like Vikings. And this is like Vikings, the comedy. And it's got similar production values to the Vikings show, but it's all a bit like... it's modern humour transplanted onto Vikings and the perils of that era, let's say. Okay. There's one, so there's like, to give you an example, there's this guy, they're coming back from a raid, And this guy who's like a big warrior dude, it's a bit silly, it's a bit stupid. And he's like, it's all right for you, mate. You've got your wife and your big house to go back to. I've just got my tent. And he's like, don't worry, we'll find you a wife. So they have a big old feast. And this big guy goes over to this chap and his wife, says, you got that farm going. That's like, you're doing really well out of that, aren't you? He's like, yeah, I built it up from nothing, worked all my life on this farm. And he's like, yeah, your wife's looking in good health too. She's like, yeah, she's great, she's provided with me with all these
I know this is
children.
Good.
Yeah. And he's like, right, okay, I'm going to challenge you to a duel tomorrow, okay? And the guy's like, and his wife is like chastising him, saying, don't be such a coward, all this. And he's like, yeah, but like that guy's like a warrior. That's all he does is kill people, and he's practicing with his little practice sword in the barn. And, it's just so funny. I really enjoy how hilarious it is. They're only like half an hour episodes, and it's actually written by some Scandinavian people. All the actors are Scandinavian, similar to a film we're about to talk about at some point very soon. Yeah. But it's all in English, and I feel like this is maybe Netflix just kind of leaning on them to do this, because they obviously know in their data that people haven't got the patience to read the subtitles.
Wow.
No, I reckon that's the God's honest truth, because it seems to be happening, and also with another thing that we're talking about.
They've also got next week, last week, one of the weeks, but they have a lot of Scandi stuff on there and a lot of European subtitle stuff. There's a I get that you can do that thing without the subtitles, but that's just a bit.
It's only a theory. It's just because I've been watching this and the other thing, and right. I've been thinking ordinarily, this would just be subtitles.
Yeah.
You wouldn't force all these people from this place to speak in English, even though they probably do.
It's weird, isn't it? Yeah, it is weird that you don't really have comedies like that with subtitles, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's just a theory. But anyway, we can kind of segue into that. I could mention BoJack, but everyone knows it's great, and I don't need to keep telling people that. Thanks for listening to the Not Watching Podcast, part of the Not Listening Podcast Network, where you can also find the Not Playing Podcast, where we talk about video games, and the Not Listening Podcast, where you can hear Adam and Co. talk about all kinds of nonsensical nonsense. You can email us at notwatchingpodcast@gmail.com, or you can tweet at or follow us on Twitter at notwatchingpod. You can find the show notes for all our shows at notlistening.co.uk, and if you like what you've heard here, please do leave us a review. Anyway, that's all for now. Until next time, bye!